When I walked across that empty stage, the only sound I heard was a hollow echo of my own footsteps. No applause, no cameras, no cheering friends or family, just a cold bounce of sound off the auditorium walls. I checked my phone, half expecting some surprise message. Nothing. Not a single were on our way. My mom, my dad, my girlfriend, my best friend, they had all promised to be there. They had been planning it for weeks, whispering excitement and secret plans. "You'll never forget it," my girlfriend had smirked. She was right. I'd never forget. When I got home, the silence followed me like a shadow. Out of habit, more than hope, I opened my laptop. That's when I saw it. A photo. My entire family, my girlfriend, my friends, all smiling and raising red Solo cups at a lake house. The caption, celebrating the real star. My cousin Jacob just got promoted. Graduation was too academic, apparently. I stared at that screen until my vision blurred. And then, quietly, I closed the laptop. You have to understand, I was invisible. Growing up, Jacob had been the family golden boy. The athlete, the charmer, the one whose smile opened doors. I was the quiet one, buried in books, the child who stayed home while everyone else went to his games. When I got into grad school, nobody clapped. When I worked nights and weekends to pay tuition, nobody offered help. But if Jacob sneezed, there was a group chat about it. I kept trying anyway. I believed loyalty, love, or at least recognition was something you earned. I brought my girlfriend, Ella, into that same circle. And she fit perfectly, maybe too perfectly. She laughed at Jacob's jokes. My mother called her part of the family before she ever called me that. The signs should have been obvious. The sudden secrecy, the half-laughs when I entered a room, her phone lighting up with messages she swiped away too quickly. But I refused to notice. I didn't want to be the paranoid, distrustful one. Then came the barbecue photo. I didn't need a caption. Ella wasn't just there. She was on Jacob's lap, his arm around her waist, her hand resting on his chest. Everything clicked. The real star. I didn't cry. I didn't yell. I didn't break anything. I just stared, letting the anger harden into something colder, cleaner. 3 years of studying finance. 2 years of working double shifts. I wasn't just book smart anymore. I knew how systems worked. I knew how people worked. They thought they had humiliated me. They had no idea what they had started. I began small. Invisible moves. My family ran a small real estate business. My father was the accountant. Jacob was a public face. Charming clients, posting success reels, spending profits like water. Ella had just started helping him with marketing. Perfect. I still had partial access to the company's shared documents from an internship. Quietly, methodically, I started tracking patterns, expenses, transfers, signatures. What I found was better than any revenge fantasy. Jacob had been funneling company funds into side projects, boats, trips, crypto nonsense, and my father had been covering it up. Family first, of course. So I built a plan. Surgical, legal, methodical. One that didn't just hurt them, it exposed them. I started with Ella. I didn't confront her. I sent her flowers from Jacob, then a message from an unknown number, thanking her for covering the invoices. A day later, I watched her panic when Jacob asked about those same invoices. Cracks formed. They were starting to crumble from the inside. Next came the company. I gathered every discrepancy, every falsified entry, and forwarded them, not to authorities, but to the investors. Whispers became calls. Calls became meetings. Faces turned pale. And I was already 3 steps ahead. Months earlier, I had quietly incorporated a consulting startup, a shell company. When investors pulled out of Jacob's company, I was there with a rescue offer. Desperation made them accept. By the time the paperwork cleared, I was a majority shareholder. The family empire now legally belonged to me. 3 days after the barbecue, the group chat exploded. "Dad, we need to talk." "Jacob, bro, did you do something?" "Investors are ghosting me." "Ella, please answer. It's not what it looks like." I laughed until my stomach hurt. My reply was simple. A single photo. Me at my new office desk, their company logo behind me. Caption, celebrating the real star. Then I muted the chat. The fallout was merciless. Jacob tried to blame my father. Ella played mediator. My mother begged me to stop. I didn't. Within weeks, the IRS had questions. Investors filed civil claims. The board voted to remove Jacob as CEO. The day of the emergency board meeting, I arrived, not in a graduation gown they had ignored, but in my own clothes, calm and collected. Jacob's face drained. Ella avoided my eyes. My father whispered, "What have you done?" I smiled. Graduated. I didn't stay for the aftermath. By the next morning, company accounts were frozen. The family chat went silent. And my mother sent one final message. "You've ruined us." No, I thought I hadn't ruined them. I had just stopped funding them. I moved into a small apartment near the lake house. Poetic, really, from my balcony. I could see the same spot where they had toasted my humiliation. It wasn't about revenge anymore. It was about balance. They took my moment. I took their empire. Now, when I scroll past that old photo, Jacob, Ella, my family celebrating the real star, I don't feel anger. I feel peace. They were right, in a way. I will never forget that day. Neither will they. They celebrated the real star.